Executive order spree stretching into today. The focus going to be on climate change, a ban on new leases for oil and gas drilling and fracking on federal lands. Now, this follows the president's order last week revoking the permit for the Keystone XL pipeline project. Well, our next guest was directly impacted by these orders. I want to bring in former Keystone XL pipeline worker Neil Crabtree. Neil, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Well, first I want to say I'm so sorry about you losing your job on the pipeline. I know that you were one of the first groups to be let go. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine right now. I'm just taking a few days to kind of get my thoughts together and see what the future holds for me. But it's nerve-wracking right now, and it's an uncertain time for me, and I think it's an uncertain time for the entire country.
How are you and your friends, your colleagues, your co-workers, how are they handling this? I mean, I know a lot of you moved up to the area to work on the pipeline, and now this news with the stroke of a pen from President Biden.
Yes, ma'am. I mean, you spend a lot of money, you know, traveling and setting up in these communities you're going to be working, and then you know, being told you lost your job and have to pack up and come home. It's financially tough sometimes, but the guys I work with, they're doing the best they can too. I mean, we've got people that haven't worked, you know, in almost a year, and we were really dependent on this project to provide for our industry, our families, insurance. We need projects like this all the time.
Well, and
it's just sad that
sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I just, you know, it's 11,000 workers, Neil. You know, it's 11,000 jobs that we're talking on the line here. And, you know, you've got President Biden, Democrats control Congress. You know, they're saying we're going to replace the pipeline jobs with green energy jobs. I mean, do you see that as something that's going to be in your future?
This country's got to figure out a way to balance it. We can't go that extreme with this. They're calling the Green New Deal. I mean, you know, actually, I refer to it as the Dark New Deal because I don't think Americans are going to be able to afford to keep their lights on if we go that extreme.
You know, it also, too, the fact that it's not just, you know, up in along the pipeline, but it's also the overall oil and gas industry. I mean, have you thought about maybe Texas, Louisiana? I mean, there's still fracking going on. I mean, is there another route that you could take in your career now?
I'm just afraid this is the beginning, you know, with the cancellation of this Keystone XL. We've been fighting other projects for years that are getting canceled. I just think it's the beginning, and you know, I'm worried about the future. I really am.
Yeah, a lot of people are. I want to bring in my colleague, John Hilzermath. He has a question for you, Neil, if that's okay. John, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Neil, I'd love to hear a little bit more about your journey. This Keystone pipeline has been so up and down for the last 4 years, with Obama rejecting it, and then Trump accepting it, and then Biden rejecting it. Can you tell us kind of when you started working for TC Energy and kind of what your own path has been, and kind of where you are now and how you got there?
Well, this project's, you know, has been trying to go for almost 10 years now, and I just, you know, recently been employed. We just got started on construction about 3 weeks ago, so I haven't been working for TC Energy this whole time. I've been doing other projects.
Well, I mean, I guess that's my other question there, because, you know, now, just to let our viewers know, to let you know, we're going to hear more on the oil and gas industry today from President Biden. He's expected to sign another executive order, you know, limiting drilling, you know, federal lands. I mean, it seems like they're really trying to clamp down. I mean, if you did have President Biden's ear, Neil, what would you say to him, in particular about the job losses? What would you say?
I would ask him to tell the truth about the real reason these permits are being canceled. You know, they're telling the American public it's because of climate change, and they're portraying this pipeline as new construction that's bringing new oil into the country, and that's just not the truth. It's this oil's already been coming in by rail car, and we're just trying to get it in a more efficient way. I look at it like this. You're trying to get water into your house by carrying it a bucket at a time out of a outside well. Let's put some Americans to work, and let's build some indoor plumbing. And I mean, if you can transport it cheaper, I mean, the benefits directly are passed on to the American people.
Well, Neil, I would say that it's safer by pipeline, and I think that's what you're kind of alluding to here. That I mean, why would you want to transport that? Go back to above ground transportation, whether it's rail car, whether it's truck. Those trains, those trucks are gas guzzling. They contribute to the emissions problem, you know, and the polluted air, the climate, which is, I think that's what doesn't make sense to me, Neil.
It doesn't make sense to a lot of people, but I mean, you're absolutely right about that. I mean, there's been articles written about the amount of traffic on these rails that are bringing this oil in. It's a huge safety concern. You've got a long black train with a cloud of smoke coming out of it versus a pipeline underground that you never see. Like I said yesterday in an interview, it's common sense, and some people don't seem to have common sense these days.
Well, Neil, good luck to you, and please keep us posted. I do hope that you find something else in the middle of all this, and we're so sorry about your job loss, Neil.
Okay, well, thank you for having me on.
All right, thank you, sir. Have a great day.